What if I told you the thing slowly destroying your kidneys right now is something you trust completely, something sitting in your kitchen at this very moment, something you've probably consumed every single day of your life, believing with absolute certainty it's harmless. Something that drop by drop, meal by meal, year after year is quietly dismantling two of the hardest working organs your body has. I'm Dr. William Lee, a cardiothoracic surgeon, and what most people don't realize is that the heart and the kidneys are bound together in a silent partnership. When one suffers, the other follows, and for years I have watched the devastating consequences of this hidden poison destroy both, especially in adults who come to me when heartbreakingly the damage is already done. Today, I am going to break that silence. No complicated medical jargon, no confusing terminology. I'm going to speak to you plainly and directly, as though you are sitting right across from me in my office. I'm going to name the worst poison that is attacking your kidneys right now without you knowing it. And the most alarming part, you most likely consumed it this very morning. Stay with me because what you're about to discover could literally save your kidneys before it's too late. Welcome. And thank you sincerely for taking a few minutes for the most important thing any of us will ever have, our health. As a kidney specialist, my mission has never been simply to treat disease. It is to prevent it, and I want to be honest with you. One of the hardest parts of my work is sitting across from wonderful, vibrant, full of life people and telling them they have kidney damage that could have been completely avoided. That conversation never gets easier. The cruel problem with your kidneys is that they are masters of silence. They are the most loyal, most overworked, and most overlooked organs in your entire body. Picture the most sophisticated water purification system ever engineered, running without pause, without rest, every hour of every day of your life. That is your kidneys. Every drop of blood in your body passes through them to be filtered and cleaned. They pull out toxins, strip away waste, and remove excess fluids your body no longer needs. But they don't stop there. They also regulate your blood pressure, signal the production of red blood cells to keep you from becoming anemic, and work to keep your bones strong and dense. They are, quietly and without fanfare, the foundation everything else in your body depends on. So, what happens when this system begins to fail? There is no alarm, no sharp pain that jolts you awake. Chronic kidney disease does not announce itself. It moves like a thief in the night, creeping forward slowly over months and years. By the time the clear signs finally appear, the swollen ankles, the bone-deep exhaustion that no amount of sleep touches, the cramping, the damage can already be severe, sometimes irreversible. I have seen so many adults walk into my clinic frightened and confused, suddenly facing the reality of dialysis or a transplant, and the question I hear every single time, the one that stays with me long after they leave, is this: Dr. Lawson, how did I not notice? The answer is painful, and it's simple. No one warned them clearly enough. No one told them about the everyday things quietly working against their kidneys. That changes today. I've identified 4 of these hidden enemies, ranked from the most common to what I consider, after years of clinical practice, the single most dangerous of all. Stay with me through every one of them because what you're about to discover could literally change the entire course of your health. I need you to understand before we go any further because it changes everything about what I'm going to share with you today. As we age, the rules change quietly, gradually, and without a single warning sign. Your kidneys begin to lose their edge. There is a measurement we use in medicine called the glomerular filtration rate, your GFR, and it tells us exactly how efficiently your kidneys are cleaning your blood. In your 20s and 30s, that number is strong and robust, but with every decade that passes, it declines. Slowly, yes, silently, absolutely, and most people have no idea it is happening inside them right now. I want you to picture something. Think of a high-mileage car engine, one that has covered hundreds of thousands of miles over a lifetime. That engine still runs. It still gets you from one place to another, but it is no longer what it once was. It cannot handle poor quality fuel the way it used to. It cannot climb steep hills without strain. Push it hard enough, consistently enough, and it will break down far sooner than it ever should have. That engine is your kidneys after 50, still working, still fighting for you every single day, but no longer equipped to absorb the punishment it once could without consequence. And here is where it becomes critical. As we move through our 50s, 60s, and 70s, two conditions begin to rise with dangerous frequency, high blood pressure, and type 2 diabetes. I want to be direct with you about this because I have seen what these two do up close on my operating table and in my clinic. They are not just health inconveniences, they are hammers, relentless, unforgiving hammers, striking the delicate, intricate structure of your kidneys every single day they go uncontrolled. High blood pressure forces enormous pressure through the kidney's finest and most fragile blood vessels, scarring them over time. Chronically elevated. Blood sugar from diabetes essentially caramelizes the kidney filters, stiffening and destroying them from the inside. Together, these two conditions are the leading causes of kidney failure worldwide, and anything in your daily life that worsens either one of them is a direct personal attack on your kidneys. Which brings us to the 4 poisons I promised you. Let's begin. Poison number 4 is going to surprise you because it is not something you eat or drink. It carries no ingredient label. It hides in no packaged food. And yet, it is doing damage to your kidneys right now that is every bit as real as anything that comes out of your kitchen. I am talking about stillness, sedentary behavior, the hours and hours spent sitting in front of a screen, in a chair, on a couch that have quietly become the default rhythm of modern life. Here is why it matters so deeply for your kidneys specifically. Your kidneys depend on strong, vigorous blood flow to do their job. Think of a powerful, fast-moving river. The water rushes through with force, staying clean, carrying everything along with it, renewing itself constantly. That is what healthy circulation looks like inside your body when you move. Now picture a stagnant puddle, still, murky, oxygen depleted. Things begin to rot in stagnant water. Toxins accumulate. Life cannot thrive in it. When you sit for hours without moving, that is precisely what your circulation becomes, a stagnant puddle, and your kidneys are left sitting inside it. But the damage does not stop there. Prolonged inactivity creates a cascade of consequences that strikes the kidneys from multiple directions at once. When the body stops moving, it struggles to manage blood sugar properly, paving the road directly toward insulin resistance and eventually type 2 diabetes. The lack of movement encourages weight gain, and every additional pound places measurable extra strain on the kidneys. Inactivity drives blood pressure upward, and as I told you in the last chapter, hypertension and diabetes are the two hammers that destroy kidneys faster than almost anything else. Sedentary behavior hands them both the hammer. The solution, though, is far simpler than you might fear. You do not need to become an athlete. You do not need a gym or a program or any equipment at all. Set an alarm on your phone every hour and simply stand up. Walk to another room. Stretch your arms. Lift your legs from your chair. Start with a 10-minute walk around the block each day and build from there at whatever pace your body allows. Every bit of movement counts because every step genuinely matters. I tell my patients this, and I will tell you the same. Every step you take is a wave of clean, healing water for your kidneys. Give them that. Poison number 3 lives in almost every home in the world. It sits quietly in your medicine cabinet, in your purse, in your bedside drawer. You have probably taken it dozens of times without a second thought because everything about it tells you it is safe. It is sold without a prescription. It has a familiar name. It works. I'm talking about NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, ibuprofen, naproxen, diclofenac, the pills millions of people reach for daily to manage headaches, back pain, joint aches, and arthritis. And the reason I'm standing here telling you about them is because that trust, that complete unquestioned trust, is quietly costing people their kidneys. Here's what happens inside your body when you take them. Your kidneys rely on specific compounds called prostaglandins to keep their tiny arteries open and blood flowing freely through their filters. NSAIDs work by blocking prostaglandins throughout the body to reduce pain and inflammation, but they do not discriminate. They block the ones protecting your kidneys too. The result is that the renal arteries constrict, blood flow drops, and your kidneys are slowly starved of the oxygen and circulation they need to survive. I want you to picture a garden hose watering a plant. That hose is the blood supply to your kidneys. Now imagine stepping on it just briefly every single day. The water slows. The plant doesn't die today. It doesn't die tomorrow. But week after week, month after month, it withers from the inside. By the time it shows signs of dying, the damage is already profound. That is what chronic NSAID use does to your kidneys, quietly, painlessly, and without a single warning until it is far too late. The answer is not to suffer through pain. Quality of life matters deeply. But pain is an alarm, and the goal must always be to find the fire, not simply silence the alarm. Speak with your doctor about safer alternatives like acetaminophen. Explore physical therapy, heat, and targeted movement. And always disclose every pill, supplement, and over-the-counter medication you take. What your doctor doesn't know can genuinely hurt you. Poison number 2 is when I hear people dismiss almost every single time I bring it up. Dr. Lawson, I barely touch the salt shaker. And I understand why they say it, because that is what most of us were taught, that salt is something we add, something we control. But here's the truth that changes everything. Over 75% of the dangerous sodium in your diet has nothing to do with your salt shaker. It is already inside the food before it ever reaches your table. It is hiding in your bread, your canned soups, your deli meats, your sauces, your frozen meals, your breakfast cereals. The food industry loads it in to extend shelf life and deepen flavor, and it does so in quantities most people would never knowingly choose. When excess sodium floods your body, a chain reaction begins. Your body retains fluid to dilute it. Blood volume rises and your blood pressure climbs into territory that is quietly, systematically destroying your kidneys from the inside. I want you to imagine the most delicate, finest silk fabric you have ever seen. Now imagine blasting it with a fire hose at full pressure every single day without pause. That is precisely what uncontrolled hypertension does to the intricate, gossamer-thin filtration network inside your kidneys. It doesn't tear them apart in one dramatic moment. It erodes them, scars them, and shuts them down slowly over years. The protection is straightforward, but it requires intention. Become a label reader. Turn every package over and find the sodium number before it finds you. Cook at home as often as you can, where you hold complete control. Replace salt with garlic, herbs, lemon, vinegar, and spices that give food real depth without a milligram of sodium. And if you use canned vegetables, rinse them thoroughly. That one simple step removes a significant portion of the hidden sodium inside. And now we arrive at poison number 1. The one I have been building toward, the one that in my years of medical practice I have come to regard as the most dangerous, the most addictive, and the most devastating force working against your kidneys today. It is not a chemical you would recognize as harmful. It is something we associate with celebration, with comfort, with reward. I am talking about sugar and its inseparable partner, refined flour. The desserts, the soft drinks, the white bread, the pasta, the cookies, the things we reach for when we want to feel good. What makes this poison so uniquely destructive is that it does not launch a single attack. It launches 4 simultaneously from every direction at once. Kidney disease does not have to be your destiny. It never did. If what you heard today opened your eyes, I ask you to do one thing. Share this with someone you love, a parent, a partner, a friend. Life-changing information is only powerful when it travels. Subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you never miss what comes next, and leave a comment below telling me the one thing you are going to change starting today. I read every single one. Your kidneys have worked every second of every day of your entire life without complaint, without rest, without asking for anything in return. It is time to return the favor. I'm Dr. William Lee, and I'll see you in the next one.